mic not even on, so I don't even know if y'all heard me any of this time. I still got the echo on too. Let me turn that off. There we go. Okay, so excuse me. Love, light, and peace. Again, if this is your first time here, I am Goddess Robyn. I I could be called so many things. What was in my head was I'm your down to earth alchemist. I'm here to be of service to the collective. And as I said, I was pulling some cards, get some messages for myself. And I said, oh, now, wouldn't that be selfish of me to only grab messages for myself when it's been a little while since I've pulled cards for us collectively? So that is what we are here for, collective cards. And I've already pulled them out from 3 different decks. And I am going to turn the sound off on my phone so it's not a distraction. And I'm going to, if we have enough time, I am going to pull additional cards. I'm going to pull additional cards as well and see if there's any additional messages for us. So let's us get started. Okay. So I utilize the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms deck, and we did get 4 cards out of there, and plus the overall energy. And we're gonna jump right into it. So the first card that came out is the Queen of the Light. Queen of the Light. And that is illumination, enlightenment, celebration. It came in the ally position. So it says, the Queen of the Light is a beautiful ally and comes into your life to herald success in all your ventures. She illuminates the most important steps on your path and reminds you of your own brilliance. You're intelligent and inspired, and all your needs will be met. Remember that you are the instrument of the divine shining through you in this world. You're on the correct path for your highest good. The queen also brings you insight into how you manifest your reality in the most miraculous ways. She promises that you'll be shown the next right action and celebrates you as you stand brilliant, joyful, and enlightened in the present moment. Let me read that again, y'all. She promises that you'll be shown the next right action and celebrates you as you stand brilliant, joyful, and enlightened in the present moment. You've worked hard to come this far. You can be proud to stand tall in your conviction that in your heart of hearts, you know the truth of your situation. Rewards for your perseverance and willingness to learn are on their way. Gratitude and acceptance are key today. This has got to be the influence of Mercury retrograde because I don't even know what's going on. I'm looking right at the words, but my mouth is saying something different. So either it's Mercury retrograde or, excuse me, perhaps spirit is speaking through me, sharing different words so that it'll hit and resonate with different people. I'm not sure. However, I'm going to read it again for those that are Virgos like me or need things to be accurate and precise. Here we go. Rewards for your perseverance and willingness to learn are on their way. Gratitude and acceptance are key today. And for me, this card is key. This card is definitely the reality of what's being experienced, and it definitely hits home where it shares that the rewards for your perseverance and willingness to learn are on the way. And I think that that's a very key component because one, being here on Earth is all part of uh, a learning, right? It's all part of a spiritual assignment. Oh, excuse me, all part of a spiritual assignment where we get to grow and evolve as spiritual beings in a physical experience. So we get to experience a new dimension, right, to reality or to what exists and be able to see it from a higher perspective. However, at the same time, see it on an eye level perspective to where it will elevate and expand. That's what I'm thinking. Expand our entity, right? So we willingly come here and we willingly go through these different things. However, most of us forget that we're here willingly, and we forget that we're here to learn. So we take on the physical experiences. We take on the stress. We take on the woe is me. We take on the victim mentality. Why is this happening to me? What did I do? Or, all of these things. And we lose sight, or I'll say we never, oh, not never. It it takes us a long time to catch on to the rhythm of learning, right? The rhythm of growth. So for those of us that are open and willing to grow and willing to persevere through whatever the situation and circumstances is, knowing that this is all happening for a reason, we're being protected and guided, and we get to the other side of it, whereas other people get stuck in the thick of it and they never make it to the other side. So the Queen of Light is here to remind us of that. Be it her keywords are illumination, enlightenment, and celebration. The next card in the spread is card number 31, the prison waif. Self sabotage, poverty consciousness. In the ally position, when the prison waif arrives in his realm as your ally, he comes to remind you of the law of paradoxical intent. Your own self sabotaging thoughts and hidden beliefs are, in fact, preventing you from your highest good. You might believe that you're doing all you can to manifest your reality, but perhaps you're giving into thoughts such as the following: I can't do this. I'm unworthy. I'll fail. So why try? I don't deserve this. I'm unlovable. In fact, you're locked in a prison of your own making. That's good news because it means you have the key to let yourself out. This is a sign that you need to spend some time with yourself, addressing those beliefs that counter your hard work to get ahead. You can change them if you want to. You don't want to stay in prison, do you? Take inventory of your thoughts. Let yourself out of jail and spend a few minutes outdoors in gratitude. It's time to let the sunshine in. So this is resonating. One, a continuation of what I was picking up with the first card, the importance of going through the journey to really allow ourselves to grow and learn, right? And part of that process, because we have been being programmed since we were in our mother's womb, right? Because we have taken on certain thought patterns that our mothers have. It's just genetically coded in our DNA. Well, not in our DNA, in our fibers. It's in the material. Because she helped nurture and house the material. So um that we already come pre-programmed, and then we get here on the outside, and then from zero all the way up into however old you are before you release yourself from the hold of those that were in a place of responsibility to develop you. You're being indoctrinated, and the key years are 0 to 7. That's when we're our most impressionable. We always speak about children being sponges and being a blank piece of paper, and you get to write on the pages. So because those years are the most impressionable, there's a lot of programs that we have in our subconscious mind that we're not even conscious of. So it's important that in the pursuit of whatever your pursuit is, some of us is to live our purpose, some of us is to be free, some of us is to experience happiness, some of us is because we don't want to continue to be in the same messed up situation that we're in. Some of us want to pursue change. So whatever your motivation is, it requires at some point for us to go deeper, right? We have to go layers deeper. So sometimes we go through the process and we deal with things on the surface and things start improving and we get comfortable and we stop. However, if we were to go a layer deeper, we would have found a greater expression of whatever it is that we were looking for. Let's say it was freedom. We will find a greater expression of freedom. And then when we go a layer deeper than that, we find an even greater expression of freedom. Like we could even get to the point where we redefine what freedom is to us because of going layer after layer after layer after layer until you hit that core and you're able to pull that bad boy up from the root and you're able to look at it with compassion and grace and love and appreciation for the growth and the evolution that this thing right here had on your arrival and your experience here on earth. So it definitely resonates as there is something that is there that we may not be aware of, right? Um, that requires a little bit more attention. And I think it's so key that it highlighted in the keywords poverty consciousness. I feel like, you know, that is something that is so embedded in us and we don't even realize it from our childhood. So if it's something as simple as, whenever you ask for something, your parent gave you a response that was like, um, I don't have it, or do you think money grows on trees, or you always asking for something, or, some type of response that made you feel like you weren't worthy, or you didn't deserve it, or you shouldn't have it. And then you took on some form of guilt for simply asking. And then in turn, there's another layer of that has to be cleared out of being denied, right? You know, I was taught that in developing my children, instead of telling them no, share with them something that gave foresight for the future. So normally I would say something along the lines of, I'll see what I can do in a week, or give me a few days and check back with me, or excuse me, I need a little bit more time, something in a positive, higher vibration, to where they didn't walk away feeling denied. They were heard, and they were, excuse me, an email flashed across the screen. However, the message said, I'm available to answer any questions. And, and I'm wondering if that is a message for someone. I'm open to answering any questions. I don't know. Let's go on, because that totally threw off that rhythm of thought. So perhaps that means that it's time to move on to the next idea, which is card number 32, which is interesting. So we've had 15, 31, and now 32. The Sun Dancers, joyful activity, celebration of life, abundance. Yeah, I think this goes hand in hand with that poverty consciousness we were just talking about. However, let's see. As your ally, the Sun Dancers celebrate you now, remind you of the laws of success and praise. Anything you place your attention, manifest, and experience. So the laws are always perfect, in advance. This unleashes the magic of mystical magnetic, drawing circumstances to you to create the reality you envision. Give thanks in advance for the grace and goodwill of the divine. Be willing to dance the victory dance as if your greatest dreams are realized, and watch how easily things begin to fall into place. Stay positive and leave the timing up to the divine. All things are possible now. Dance the joy of being and celebrate your life in abundance today. So, something else was sparked that I need to highlight. Spirit is pointing out. So this is really about our thinking. This is really about the power of our thoughts and being in harmony with the laws and principles that govern creation. So in this particular card, it speaks of the laws of success and praise, and reminding us that anything that we place our attention to will manifest and experience. So the laws are always perfect. And in the previous card, it spoke of, hold on, the law of paradoxical intent. Your own self-sabotaging thoughts and hidden beliefs are in fact preventing you from your highest good. So clearly, Spirit is bringing to our attention that we need to go into a space of solitude. We need to do or I won't say solitude, I'll just say go within, because we all have different methods on how we do that. So whether your meditation is in your everyday motion, or you sit still and you actually do the breathing techniques to meditate, and that's how you go within. Whatever your technique is, I'm picking up that it is, you're being urged to make space and time for that, so that whatever is underneath the surface, you can see it, so that you can experience what is needed. You can experience what is being made available to you, so that you can make a shift in your thought pattern, so that you can be successful in creating whatever your reality is. And I'm definitely going to do that today. I feel like it's no coincidence that this is coming up, and I'm definitely going to check to see what comes up in my own inner self, what comes to the surface for me to see and evaluate. And I think it's very key too, because we're about to step into this new moon, and new moons are a time of planting seeds, right? New moons are a time of manifesting. So you set intentions for this new moon, and the full moon, by the time the full moon comes, you should be able to see um, your seeds germinate, and sometimes you'll see some harvest from the seeds that you planted. So it's really resonating that it's important for us to do this now. Like, don't sit on it. Do this now so that we'll be in the best position to plant pure seeds that can grow, and we can harvest them without any weeds involved in the process. So definitely take the time, if that resonates with you, to do that. And the last card is the Metal King. And this is discipline, armor, and boundaries, also in the ally position. The Metal King is strong. Did I say the number? 37. So right now we have 15, 31, 32, and 37 on the table, which also breaks down to a 6, a 4, a 5, and a 10, which then breaks down to a 1. And the Metal King is strong and arrives to lend you his impenetrable shield of protection. No matter who sends you criticism or jealousy, you will not be hurt. This ally also prompts you to think about setting healthy boundaries. When you do, no matter how uncomfortable that task may be, everyone will benefit. He asks you to make sure you know where you end and another begins. Others' emotions are not yours, no matter how empathetic you may be. Another of the Meadow King's messages is to remind you how important it is to have a healthy sense of self-esteem. It's a good time to shine and be proud of what you have accomplished. I know that's right. With all of the hard work that it takes to be in alignment, to have the courage and the bravery to face, some of these very distasteful thought patterns, and to go through these experiences, trusting, not being able to see it in the physical, however, leaning heavily on the spiritual, it is definitely something to be celebrated and acknowledged and to be proud of. So definitely don't shortchange yourself, because out of the entire population of, I think we're at 8 billion people, it is a very, very, very small fraction of people who are doing this type of in-depth work, and continue to do it until they reach the core. There's more people now than previous years where people are starting to do the work, and that is a beautiful, beautiful reality, and we are so grateful for the awakening that's taking place globally, really. I was about to say nationally, however, really globally. um However, many people are stopping once they get to a certain point, and that's okay, because that's their choice, right? So they're stopping either because of the uncomfortability, or they're stopping because the reality that they have co-created for themselves is enough for them, and they don't want to go any further. And like I said, that's their business, as Auntie Tab would say, and that's show business. However, there are some of us that are going thoroughly deep, and in doing so, we should celebrate ourselves, because it's not an easy feat at all. So the overall energy of this card, I mean, of this deck, of this spread, is the resting tree, patience, stillness in the ally position. The resting tree is a sign for you to stop focusing and planning and be at peace in the moment. This is the representative of non-action and relaxation. Patience is the key to being with this ally. The resting tree asks you to slow down, sit back, and watch the roses bloom and the birds feed in the meadow. This isn't the time to forge ahead in any way. You may not be taking enough breaks, so you're invited to be still and contemplate your good fortune, even if it means blessing the chaos in your life. This is a sign to allow everything to fall away except the stillness of the moment. It's like living within the space between breaths. When the resting tree appears, it signals that you've done all you can for now, and it's time to unwind and allow your story to unfold of its own accord. You've earned the right to rest and relax. Amazing ideas will come if you do. Remember the ancient saying, what we do without doing, and everything gets done. I've never heard that saying before. However, the thought did just come to mind too, that it is possible that you have been putting in a lot of work. You've been doing a lot of self work, a lot of self healing, shadow work, inner child work. You've been digging deep, and you are at the place now where your rewards are about to come in. So this is a message to um, alert you to not allow any self-sabotaging behavior to come back up, or poverty consciousness, or um, anything that will take you away from receiving your reward. So be patient, right? Be patient, be still, trust in the boundaries that you have set, trust in the discipline that you've been expressing, trust in the joyful activity and the celebration of life and the abundance, frequency, and vibration that you're in, that you're attracting more of that. Um, Remember your affirmations. If you're sharing affirmations, whatever your steps have been to get you to this point, be sure to stay on course. Do not deviate. By all means, do what resonates with you. Don't force anything. However, whatever practices are resonating with you, make sure you continue to do them so that your vibration and frequency stays up. And yeah, your light will continue to be illuminated. You have those that are with you in the unseen, that are supporting you, that are with you. So yeah, that was beautiful from the wisdom of the hidden realms. Where we at on time? 23 minutes. Okay. So the next deck that we have today is Mystical Shaman Oracle deck. And this card is card number 27, and it is called the Hunter. Excuse me. I don't know why I needed to release that energy right now. However, apparently there's a lot of energy that's being moved, and I needed to release it, and then my nose is itching. Listen, this energy, when you're energy sensitive, some of the most interesting things is experienced. Like, I really know that when I'm yawning out of the blue like that, like, it's energy being moved. So I'm not sure if it's the energy that I'm tapping into, or it's the energy from those that are watching the collective. It got to be the collective. It got to be me moving through the energies of the collective. It got to be. I mean, that would make the most sense, right? Nevertheless, the first card, the hunter, the essence. Before the dawn of agriculture, we hunted in the forests to feed our kin. The hunter never takes more than what the village needs to survive, often taking only one creature, the good kill. He is a master tracker who knows which path to follow to find success. The invitation. Rely on your own skills to traverse the thick forest you are in to reach your destination. You need to follow the tracks left by spirit to claim your bounty, which is already prepared and being offered to you. Do not follow the maps drawn by others, as they will not lead you true. Instead, become the map maker. Find here we go. Instead, become the map maker. Find your internal compass and use all your senses, including your common sense. And I'm going to take a sip of water on that while we marinate on that. So that stands out as being very key, because when you are pursuing your purpose or your destiny or your legacy, there are points along the path that the Most High Spirit has left significant, like, markers for us, or clues or cues, or um, gifts that will aid us and resonate with us that we're on the right track. So with this particular card, it what resonated with me is to look for the signs. Pay attention to the signs. Pay attention to the omens that are being presented, so that we can be in tune with what is coming from the spirit realm, what is coming to aid us and support us on our journey. Refuse or refrain from giving into the thoughts and the opinions of other people that's not on the same path as you. I've learned on my journey that Everybody's going to have something to say about what you should do on your path, on your journey. When one, they don't even know you. Like, they don't know the essence of you. They don't know the core of you. They don't know who you are, who you came here to live in the fullness of. They don't know who you were in your past lives. They don't know who you're going to be in your next life, right? However, they have such an opinion and thoughts and feelings and concerns about what you're doing in your life when they're not even on their divine path and purpose, right? And at one point, I used to, feel like, well, people care, right? Like, they're sharing their care and their concern. However, the reality is that people get so focused on your journey and your path as a form of a distraction from them to do their own work. So, be your own map maker, co-create the map with the Most High. Matter of fact, you've already done that. You're just living it out at this time. So don't allow the thoughts and opinions of other people to deter what resonates with you. I am a firm liver. I want to say believer. However, I don't just believe it, I live it. I do what resonates to me. And I've been that way for as far back as I can remember. I've done what resonated with me. I do what my spirit says that I should do, right? Despite what it looked like in the physical. And there's been plenty of situations where on the physical, it looked crazy. Not just to other people, it was looking crazy to me. However, I couldn't deviate from doing what resonated with me because it never steered me wrong, right? Like, doing what resonated in my heart, in my being, was what was best in that moment, with the knowledge and the understanding that I had. Always worked out in my best interest, even when it felt like it was the worst thing ever. From a higher perspective, I can look back and I can see so much beauty and so many jewels, and how I was added to and developed and polished in so many ways that without those experiences, I could not even prove that I would have received that type of growth. So willfully, that resonates and aids in supporting someone on their journey. The next card is the Smoky Mirrors, card number 47, which breaks down to 11, which then breaks down to a 2. The essence. The smoky mirror represents the aspects of what is implied yet cannot be immediately known in the world. The mystery of how things come together and how they fall apart without obvious casualty. Excuse me, y'all. This symbol also represents the shadow of the human psyche, the parts of the self that one disowns. The smoky mirror can also represent a state of denial or the inability or refusal to see the truth. The invitation. When the symbol of the smoky mirror appears, you're invited to see beyond your own self. Acknowledge that past the limits of your current ability to perceive. There is a vast interconnected world where events are orchestrated in divine order, but challenging to fully grasp. Now's the time to trust that no matter what the current conditions of the world reflect, in the hidden realms, all aspects of the human journey are celebrated. The beauty and the darkness, the misery and the courage, no matter where you are on your journey. Know that some things are meant to be a mystery, which you are meant to understand only through experience. Take heart, for the smoky mirror will ultimately show you beauty and wonder once the fog lifts the the distortion you see now. And that's beautiful because that goes hand in hand with the point that I was just making about myself. And for me, that really resonates, and it caused me to see the beauty of myself, right? Because I naturally go in between the realms, between the unseen and the physical realm. So I'm able to see the beauty in the unseen realms of what is taking place in the physical, despite how unbeautiful it is in the physical realm. So this, we're being encouraged to look past the physical, right? Look past whatever is taking place in this physical moment that may look like the shit hit the fan, when in actuality there's so much beauty to be celebrated and to be acknowledged in that, in whatever it is that's taking place. And soon, the more that we tap into our unconscious, subconscious mind, the more we get in contact with our inner child and do that inner child healing and do the shadow work, ultimately the smoky mirror will become clear, right? The fog will lift and we'll be able to see the clear reflection of what really is. Because the beautiful thing, and I don't think enough of us, speak about this, is that what is taking place in the physical realm, excuse me, is not the real thing. Like, that's not the real thing that's happening. The real thing is happening in the unseen, and what's in the physical is just an expression that we're able to see with our eyes of what is happening in the spiritual realm. However, in reality, what's happening in the spiritual realm could not be housed all at once in what is taking place in the physical. So it's being siphoned in degrees, right? So in the beginning, we experience the uncomfortability, and usually the uncomfortability is as a result of resistance. We're not open. We're not receptive. We're guarded because we don't want to be hurt again, or we don't want to experience this, or we don't want to, we have all of these what we don't want, instead of embracing what exists, what is, so that we can receive what it is that's in there for us. Because if we say all things work together for those who love the Lord, right? If we say, the universe is, uh, I forgot exactly how it goes, but the idea is that the universe is constantly wanting to bless us. Then how can we say these things, but then be fearful of being in situations as though that the reality of the unseen and the blessings and the most high and us being guided and protected stops once we get into an uncomfortable situation? Like, that would be very hypocritical. Like, that's giving you're lying, right? Like, that's giving you don't really believe your own rhetoric. And that's cool, because we all, are at different levels of growth. However, I'm speaking this way so directly, not at other people. However, for those that resonate in my energy, or with the vibration that I'm putting out, being a mouthpiece for the Most High, is we serious about growth. You know what I'm saying? Like, we serious about doing the work. So we go deep. So we want to hear the truth, right? Like, we want to hear the perspective of thought that we should be exploring and processing, so that we can grow and evolve to be the highest expression of ourselves, so we can accomplish what we came here to do and be pleasing to the Most High, right? And to whomever is watching us and cheering us on and supporting us. Like, we want to be successful. So we want to talk real talk. We don't want to be talking that, we don't want to talk the fluff. We want to talk real talk. So real talk, we got to do the work. And in us doing the work, we got to ask the hard questions. We got to look deep, below the surface, to really see and understand what it is that's actually taking place and what needs to be released, so that we can see the Most High in everything. We can see the beauty of everything that we experience and what we gained from it. So on that note, the next card is number 17, breaks down to an 8, Earth, the essence. Each represents the gift of life. The symbol of this card refers to the body of the planet Earth, the human body, and nature herself. We are reminded by this symbol that all creatures are born of the earth, and human beings are the stewards of all life on this planet. It refers to what we make of it: our health, wealth, security, grounding, solidity. I probably said that wrong. And stability. It reminds us that the world of form is a gift from spirit and needs to be treated with respect. And this card is in the medicine position. Do you feel ungrounded or easily thrown off your path lately? Is it time to focus on what nurtures you? No, excuse me. It is time to focus on what nurtures you, to open yourself to the healing of Mother Earth and see the abundant world around you. Perhaps you have lost the ability to trust that your needs will be met and have fallen prey to poverty consciousness. Come on through, spirit. Perhaps you have not been eating well, been overworked and stressed, and forgotten to breathe in the beauty of your surroundings. Excuse me. When the spirit of earth comes as your medicine, you're being reminded that when you practice self-care, take a walk in nature, and focus on the consciousness of abundance, miracles can and do happen. When I tell you that I just love how spirit works, because this is in alignment with the cards from the first deck of cards, right? So we're already in the rhythm of being sure that we're not self-sabotaging. We're releasing poverty consciousness. We're going deep into the subconscious. We are healing our inner child. We are doing the shadow work. You know what I'm saying? So this is like a reminder, right? So it started off by saying, do you feel ungrounded or easily thrown off your path lately? And that happens, right? Like the reality is that like we do this work. We do this work. Supreme Goddess Nani, yes, come through, spirit. Yes, yes. So it's like we do this work, right? We do this work, and we have to still have compassion and grace for ourselves, because things will still come up, right? There'll come a time where the physical doesn't want to be in alignment with the spirit, right? The physical wants to relax and unwind, where the spirit is saying, now we still got more work to do, right? Like our heart might need to take a little step back to process what has already been unraveled, where our mind says, now we still got more that we need to do because we got somewhere to go. So, there's times where we're going to feel unbalanced, right? I mean, that happens, especially if you're single. Like if you're a brother or a god that's watching, and you don't have the balance of a feminine expression, or you're a feminine energy and you don't have the balance of a masculine energy, there's going to be times where you're off balance. So this is resonating as a reminder, as I stated earlier in the first, portion, to remember to do the things that you've been doing to help you get to this point. Sometimes we can get so comfortable in the frequency and vibration that we're in, that we fall back, right? We fall back on doing some of the practices. So with this particular card, Earth coming through, Mother Gaia, Mother Earth, Mother Nature is always present to help support us. You know what I'm saying? So with that being the case, we have to do the things. So go out in nature, go for a walk. Even if you sit on your porch or your back porch and you just like, look up at the sky, or, do some grounding in your front lawn or your backyard, or, get some fresh air, open your window up, go for a walk at a park, or take your child to the park, even when you don't feel like it. Like it's, the earth wants to support us. The earth is already holding space for us because we're living on her. So she's already holding space for us just naturally. However, it's so much more potent when we actually tap in to the energy. Like we go and we hug the tree. We go and take our shoes off and ground on the grass. We go by the water to allow whatever is below the surface to come up, or to allow the tears to flow. Like we have to do the things that's needed. And I'm really picking up strongly that spirit is reminding us that this is a necessary component at this time for us to be able to focus on the consciousness of abundance and the miracles that are happening. Like these blessings are coming. Like I feel the energy. Like whoever I'm talking to the collective that may be in a hibernation period right now, or find themselves coming out of the hibernation period right now. And as a result of the work that you've been doing in the hibernation period, your rewards are coming. Like your spirit team is about to show up and show out for you. Like the things that you've been doing, the investments that you've been making in yourself, they have a return. They're going to yield. It's like you've been making deposits in the bank. You've been making deposits. Come on through. Let me get this mic a little closer, because y'all got to hear me, right? You've been making spiritual deposits in your account. Let me turn the volume down a little bit, because I don't want y'all to feel like I'm yelling at y'all. Let me see. There it go. Let me see. There it go. Okay. You have been making spiritual deposits in your bank for however long you've been on this journey. I want to say either you're new on the journey, or you are at the part where you're about to walk through the door, right? You've been making deposits for so long, and you haven't been checking your balance. You haven't been making withdrawals. You just been making deposits, making deposits, making deposits, making deposits. And you about to get a letter in the mail, metaphorically, you about to get a letter in the mail or an email or a text message with your balance, right? With your statement, it's going to show the deposits that was made and the balance. And you're going to be so amazed at the balance that you've accrued, because you chose to focus on yourself. You chose not to utilize, what is that word? Help me out, spirit. You didn't filter your feelings, the emotions. You went through the cycles and the processes. You had many nights of crying, of frustration, of not understanding what's going on. You felt the loneliness because you've been in seclusion, right? Like you haven't had, again, if you're in balance, you don't have a partner, you've gone without, right? Like you stopped dating, you really stop socializing for the most part. You may go out and interact with people sometimes, however, like to really be around people, nah, you haven't been doing that. So all of these sacrifices that you've made, the reward is coming. And that energy just came through real strong. Like spirit want us to know, like, nah, for real, like everything you've done, it has not been for nothing. Like the rewards are coming and you gonna see, and you're going to be pleasantly surprised, because not only are you going to get what you've been asking for, right? Like you're going to get what you've been setting intentions for, what you've been manifesting on, what you've been, burning your candles for, or, journaling about, whatever, just speaking it into the universe. That's coming. However, it's about to be so much more. It's about to be so much more that you didn't even consider, imagine, or want. However, because of being connected to the Most High, being one of the chosen, being one that has sacrificed and done the work, not only for yourself, right? Like this work that we're doing is not so that we could be millionaires and have a big ass house on a hill and have all of these cars. Now that may be on some of y'all manifestation lists, right? That may be there. However, that's not the base and the foundation of why you've been doing the work. That's just some of the physical rewards that you would like to have. And that's well within your right. Well within your right. And many of us have earned those things. However, in addition to that, we're going to experience peace of mind, right? We're going to experience contentment of heart. We're going to experience joyfulness and happiness. We're going to be able to experience what it feels like to live a life in flow without stress, without having to be in survival mode, right? We're going to be able to live and thrive instead of survive, try to survive. So what time? Oh man, we at 44. Oh my God. Okay. Spirit, we're going to move on. I'm going to respectfully move on from that energy. However, make a mental note of that. The blessings are coming. The last card of this particular deck is card number 59, Upper Room. And the essence of this card is angels, divine helpers, the ancient ones, and all varieties of luminous beings populate the upper world. It is the place where you go to retrieve your destiny and find out who you will become. Discover your great potentials and undreamt of possibilities. Didn't I just talk about that? Undreamt of possibilities. Spirit's about to show us the undreamt of possibilities. It is also the place where the spirits of the dead arrive when they complete their journey to the light. The invitation. The upper world is calling you to step into your fully realized self. Clear distractions so that you can move into a higher destiny. Do not fall to the temptation to craft a slightly more improved version of yourself. What you perceive as a problem or an obstacle is, in fact, the irritation you need. Come through, spirit, that you need to take the great leap. Remember, you cannot cross the Grand Canyon in two small jumps. Man, listen, I be loving how spirit be coming through. Like, I just get up here. I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know. I just know that I freely speak what comes to me. And when I speak on the different ideas that, that comes to me in the cards, and then later cards come through that are in support or magnify the idea that I share, it lets me know I'm in alignment. And I'm so grateful to be in service, because baby, we was talking about this, right? We was talking about this. The problems, the obstacles, they are exactly what we need to get us where we need to go. So why be upset? Why be pissed off? Why be irritated? Why lower your frequency when this is being sent for your highest good, whether you understand it or not? Having a higher frequency, again, looking at it from a higher perspective, because we are a spiritual being having a physical experience, and then we're connected to the upper world, right? We're connected to the upper world, so we have our spirit team, we have the angels, we have our guides, our ancestors, whomever it is that you believe in, or who it is that is a part of your squad that supports you. They're there. They're there. So it goes right back to what I said earlier. How is it that we can say that, that God is with us, or Jesus is with us, or Krishna is with us, or the angels are watching over us, and not lean into that same truth, knowing, understanding, belief, or faith when things are happening in a manner where it's not our liking? When everything is happening, we're feeling blessed, we're giving all the praise and appreciation and gratitude to whomever. However, when things start going in a manner that causes us to be uncomfortable, which really is to agitate some things, right? Like the washing machine example I gave in the other video, the washing machine agitates the clothes, right? It agitates the clothes to release the dirt from the clothes, so that when the water is released, the dirt goes out with the water. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't allow yourself to be agitated, then how can you elevate with a higher frequency? You're not, because you're going to have these old lower vibrational thought patterns and habits and frequencies that are holding you back. So embrace the uncomfortability, embrace the agitation, knowing that this is all part of the divine plan for me to get to my highest timeline. Like, I'm in the business of timeline jumping. Like, I'm trying to get to the high. I'm not trying any damn thing. Let me correct my language. I'm doing it. I am applying the keys to get to the highest timeline available. Why? Because I don't like the timeline that I'm on. I don't like it. And I feel like, excuse me, I moved the camera. And I feel like there is more to be experienced. And because I can feel it and I can see it, then it exists. So I'm going to take the necessary steps so that I can experience it. And does that come with uncomfortability? It sure does. Do I like it a lot of the times? Yes, I do. I love it. I love it. It is uncomfortable. However, I've grown to the point where I understand that without uncomfortability, you cannot grow. So I was on a phone call with my good girlfriend yesterday, a friend from many years ago, and we were speaking about the idea. She called me for my Earthday yesterday, and we were speaking about the idea, of the uncomfortability to grow. Like, people shy away from the uncomfortability. How the uncomfortability is what's needed to grow. And then I was taught that uncomfortability is a sign to the person that growth is taking place. If your life is just coasting and everything is just great, everything is happening perfectly, everything is just smooth sailing, there's no growth happening. And that's not to say that it's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm not saying that, because some of us want a life of just, some of us are fighting hard to get to that point of life of just ease. And if that's where you are on your journey, beautiful reality, embrace it, live it up. I love that for you. However, if you're a person that's pursuing growth and you're not experiencing uncomfortability, that's a telltale sign that you're not growing. That there's no evidence of growth taking place. Let me say it that way, because I don't want to, there's no evidence of growth taking place. So with that being the case, embrace the uncomfortability, embrace it for all that it is and all that it has for you, because it is a blessing undercover. So this last card, and I'm going to show this card because I think it's just so beautiful. It is so beautiful. All the cards are beautiful. However, I love water, so that one stood out. And it looked like the earth, which was in alignment with what we were already talking about with earth earlier and all that she has for us. So this card is number 61, which breaks down to a 7. Very powerful number. The essence. Water symbolizes purification, regeneration, birth, revival, and cleansing. It signifies an evolutionary shift from former self to new self. Many myths around the world speak of a great flood and the new life that is revealed after a deluge. Water begins without boundaries. Then, as soon as form has separated itself from water, it comes under the laws of time and life, thus acquiring limitations. The invitation for this card. When water arrives, you're invited to watch your emotions. Know they are going to be changeable. and do not settle on a conclusion at this time. If you feel joy, feel that fully. If you feel sad, allow sadness to move through you. Water invites you to see the ebb and flow of events and trust you can ride the wave of opportunity when it arises. Natural flow is here. Go with it. Now, that was the overall energy of that particular deck that we had the Hunter, the Smoky Mirror, Earth in reverse, and Upper World. So basically, we're also is being brought to our attention that during this process, which we also spoke about earlier, is that there's going to be some emotions coming up, right? Honor your emotions, honor what you feel, right? If you need a moment to cry it out, cry it out. Sometimes I be finding myself crying and I don't even know why I'm crying. I don't even know why I'm crying. It could be a song. It could be something that I saw. It could just be I, the energy just came up. And it used to be where I used to judge myself because I didn't understand why I was crying. And it's so weird because I would be crying and in my mind, and I'm a Virgo too, so I'm a little different, y'all. In my mind, I would be thinking, why are you crying? Like what is going on here? However, the part that I didn't consider in that moment is that energy is moving. I'm doing the work, right? Like I'm doing the work. So energy is moving. Things are coming up and they're coming out. And we don't always have to have the conscious awareness of what it is. Our subconscious and our higher self got that under control. And anything that they may miss, which that's not possible, but just let's just say they miss something, our spirit team has it. You know what I mean? The universe is recording everything. So the universe has it. Fail proof plan throughout this whole thing. So nothing's going to be missed. So I don't have to consciously know what was attached to this emotion. I just have to be compassionate enough with myself and have enough self-love for myself to love and comfort myself the way I would somebody else, right? Like if somebody else just started crying out the blue, and that's happened to me many a times. I've seen many of people just cry out of the blue, and I don't get into a whole bunch of like, why are you crying? What's happening? No, I immediately ask them, can I hug you? And I hug them and I help them balance the energy that's coming up. And I also encourage them to allow it to come up and come out because that's what it's trying to do. The crying, the tears are evidence of emotions, right? Emotions, the tears are the tears and emotions are evidence of energy. Everything is energy. It is a evidence of energy that needs to come up and come out. So when you're crying, whether you know why or not, whatever the case is, and you start judging yourself, you stop yourself from crying, you're restricting the flow of energy. And now that energy has to go somewhere else. So now you might find you got a headache, or your knee start hurting out of nowhere, or your back is bothering you, or you threw your back out, or your stomach hurt, you got a stomach ache, right? That's because the energy had to go somewhere since you wouldn't let it come out the way that the Most High created for it to be released. It's the same principle. Like if you got a geyser, if you don't allow that pressure, that energy to come up and come out, then it's doing all types of things underneath the surface. Like it's exploding that way. You know what I'm saying? Like it's going to find a way to channel the energy if it's not able to come up. So that same principle happens with us in our physical body. So, we only get one of these. So we want to make sure that we are treating it appropriately, and we want to honor and respect the processes that have been placed in nature for our success, because the Most High already knew what it was. Most High already know what it is. So we have to honor and respect those processes. And because we're doing all this healing and we're reparenting and, loving our inner child, these are physical steps that you can show yourself that you're doing to show love to your inner child. Imagine how many times when you were a child where you were going to cry and your parent or some adult told you, you better not cry. Stop crying before I give you something to cry for. It's like we were programmed from children to deny and ignore the natural process that was set up. So willfully, I don't want to go, we're at 55 minutes. Willfully, that was received for who it was meant for, as in depth as I went into that. However, it is very, very important that we take care of ourselves in those ways. So this is the Moonology deck, and this will be the last deck, I did want to read card for spirit, and I will, it's because whoever is meant for is going to watch the whole video or whatever part of the video, and they're going to get what they need to get. So I'm not going to be concerned about that. These are the cards that spirit wanted me to share. So here we go. This is the full moon in Aquarius. Show the world the real you. Excuse me, y'all, because my nose is really itching. Like, I guess spirit is like, yes, confirmation. Don't stop. Keep going. Because my nose is really itching. This card brings the message from the cosmos that you need to detach a little from whatever situation you're asking about. Someone might be keeping you at arm's length now, but it's no bad thing. It's important for you to allow life to unfold in progress, even if change seems like a frightening prospect. If you've been holding yourself back from showing the world the real you, this card reminds you that your unique characteristics are what make you special. In a relationship, are you being too aloof or detached? Go ahead and be yourself in whatever is coming up for you. Attune to the moon. Be aware of your feelings, but also be prepared to move on. Additional meanings for this card. Don't lose the beauty and romance of life. You are too much in your head. Get into your heart. A friend needs you. Be there for them. A situation is going to take a very unexpected turn. I just want to highlight this one thing. A situation is going to take a very unexpected turn. Definitely resonated with what we were speaking about earlier with the Most High coming through with blessings that we don't even see coming. So, be open, be flexible, be fluid for whatever plans you have, like detach. Don't be so attached to the plan versus being locked in with the outcome, because the plan can shift and alter. People who were originally we thought were going to be a part of it, it could be a whole new set of people. The road that we thought we were going to go down, it could be a whole nother path. So, I'll be open is what spirit is sharing. The next card is the waxing moon. The energy is gaining momentum. During the waxing moon cycle, hope brings eternal. This card is a very positive omen, indicating that you can create the reality you're dreaming of, though it will take some work and you're not quite there yet. This is a time of energies rising up. Emotions are building too. Where do you want to go, and do you believe you can get there? Either you can just keep meditating and focusing on your desired outcomes, or you can make the courageous commitment to take more practical steps toward your goals. Whichever you decide, you are most certainly on the right track. Attune to the moon. I know I'm headed in the right direction. Additional meanings for this card. The situation, the situation is full of potential. Your dream can come true. More effort is yet required. Are you willing to give it? Review your goals and ensure you're still committed. Keep moving forward. That was very clear to the point. And I feel like these cards are giving us a synopsis of what Spirit has already shared with us to make sure that we receive what we are supposed to get from this message before we conclude. And I'm grateful, Spirit, for the confirmations, for the clarity. It's important that when the messages come through, they come through and they're clear. So we thank you. We thank you. Take time to breathe out. Disseminating moon. The intensity of the full moon has abated. And what are we left with? That's what the card is asking you. It suggests that the situation you're asking about has now peaked, and it's time for you to regroup and learn from your experiences rather than blindly forging ahead. Have faith that what is happening is for the best. Try to accept the way things are now and give yourself and others time out to relax. Breathe. We can't be on all the time. If you feel you've hit an obstacle or even failed in some way, now's the time to reflect on how to do things differently next time. Be honest with yourself. If you feel bad about your current situation, then remind yourself that life goes in cycles. Attune to the moon. I am where I am, and it's okay. Additional meanings for this card. You should know where you stand either now or very soon. You need to take some time out for your own good. It's time for you to share your wisdom and experience with someone else. Avoid falling into a slump. Come through, Spirit. And we love to hear it, right? Oh, wait, I didn't do the overall energy. The overall energy is the new moon in Scorpio. 56. These cards didn't have numbers in case you were wondering. Okay, work through your fears. It says this card suggests a rebirth. Think of your situation as the phoenix that's rising from the ashes, as the birth, death, rebirth paradigm. That's what Scorpio energy is all about. Whatever you've been through, there's a new start ahead. It might feel a little dark. It almost certainly won't be rainbows and unicorns, but it will be deep and transforming. This card also suggests that if you know you are magical, then this is the time to work your magic. It can also herald the start of a sexier time. Okay, okay. We was talking about earlier about not being balanced. Some of us about to get in balance, get a little sexy time in. If you've been experiencing something of a drought, and emotional intimacy is also in the and emotional. Let me read that again. It can also herald the start of a sexier time if you've been experiencing something of a drought. And emotional intimacy is also on the menu. Scorpio is the sign that likes to go deep into body, mind, and spirit. So when this card comes up, there's nothing superficial about what's coming your way. Attune to the moon. Have some sexy time. Additional meanings for this card. Time to let go of a grudge you're holding. Move on from jealousy. Stop being obsessive. Could it be you're being paranoid? Make an investment. So, with that being shared, that might be one of them blessings that's coming that, some of us don't see coming is a divine counterpart. And for that, I don't know about y'all, but I am grateful. I am grateful. I am most certainly willing, ready, able, and welcoming um, the divine balance of masculine energy. However, before I let you go, because we are at a 1 hour and 2 minutes, and I appreciate you all tuning in. And if you stayed to the end, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And this is most certainly your message, especially if you've been here from the beginning to the end. Every bit of this is your message. Whatever resonates with you, I encourage you to embrace it, receive it, integrate it. What doesn't, leave it for the next viewer in the tribe, y'all. And then we're going to end with a postcard from Spirit, because I find that this is a beautiful way to end and be able to move forward with the energies and the messages that were shared with us. And I think we'll just go with that one since and two popped out. All right. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. All right. The first one is There's You. There are times when loss is a part of life. Sometimes the loss is welcoming. Excuse me. I lost my vision. There are times when loss is a part of life. Sometimes a loss is welcome, like when you leave a situation not in alignment with your highest good. Sometimes a loss is sudden and painful, like when a loved one crosses over to our dimension. Regardless of the nature of the loss and your control over it, your experience is asking you to be acknowledged. Tears are necessary, as is grief. When you repress the natural expression of loss and try to move on too quickly, the unprocessed pain haunts you in destructive ways. We don't want that for you. Instead, let your heart break open wide. Feel the loss and integrity. No, excuse me. Feel the loss and integrate it. See the beauty that was, the lessons learned, and know that as you let go of what has passed, ever more of you remains. It gets better, we promise. Your heart expands with more compassion for the world than ever before. Love heals all. We are loving you, sending you love always and forever. Dear you are in such good shape right now that we're all doing a happy dance. In this moment, you have the power to make a choice to get with spirit and co-create a miracle. You may wonder where this is all going, but if you want to manifest your desires for the highest good, you need to stay focused on the now. All power is in the present moment. Ask yourself, what are your dominant thoughts now? What beliefs are you motivated by? Do you have clarity right now? How is your conscious contact with the divine? Are you plugged in, or are you trying to do life all by your small self? Get rid of negative energy now. Resentments, be gone. Forgiveness and love, enter, please. You can do your life beautifully and create your most powerful future right here, right now, in this moment. Aren't you thrilled to know you have a huge cheering section over here? Love and hugs always. Man, I listen, my spirit team be doing the big one. And I'm so grateful to be a channel because the way that that just came together, okay, and that cherry on top at the end of this message from your spirit guides, my spirit guides, the spirit realm, we are loved, we are being seen, we are supported. It is our time. Let me bring the mic over here. It is our time. It is your time. I don't know if you know, but it is your time. Everything that you've gone through to get to this point, you about to see some things shake. Stay focused, continue to stay in high vibrations, don't stress. Anything that's happened in the physical realm, there's a solution. Just focus on finding a solution. And sometimes the solution is for you to do nothing and just let things unfold. Anybody that's in your cipher that is not on the same frequency, release them because they are going to be a blockage to you receiving your blessings that's coming. They are. I already picked that energy up a few days ago. Um, Continue to do the work. Continue to be happy. Be excited. Be excited. If you weren't excited before this reading, get excited because your reality is about to shift. Things are about to take off, and it's a beautiful time for all of us. And I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful to be a part of the tribe. I'm grateful to be here to be a voice for spirit. And until the next time, right? Until the next time. Oh, and like I said earlier, I did do this video because it was my Earthday yesterday. So I started it for that. However, I just had another rotation around the sun. I'm grateful for the new level that I'm about to step into, the new frequencies, the new vibrations for all those that sent love, salutations. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. So until the next time. All right. Love and peace.